Midwestern Cowboy. This is Iron Horse. Thanks for watching. It is April the 14th, and this is my BIKEAVERSARY again. Second BIKEAVERSARY. I was thinking about that earlier today, that it was 2 years ago today now that I bought my Harley Davidson Iron 883, and I rode it for just a little bit less than 2 years, and then I purchased this Kawasaki Versys. But today is actually the 2-year anniversary of me being back on motorcycles ever since high school. In fact, a year ago today, I posted a video. It's on my page, my channel, and it's called BIKEAVERSARY, and that's when my son Nathan and I went out for a ride. It's amazing how quick time goes by. Well, I think I'm going to try the Interstate now, which is not really something I'm a big fan of, but I haven't videoed on the Interstate yet. I've only been on the Interstate maybe 3 or 4 times, and I'm just going down to the next exit, so this will probably be a good time to get a little bit of Interstate practice. It's Good Friday, so there's lots of traffic on the Interstate. It's going to be one of those kind of challenging rides here. And there's road construction also. Now it just doesn't get any better than that. And we're running 74 miles an hour, just keeping pace with the traffic. Full tank of gas. Now I'm running 78. This bike will do it. That's one of the things I really like about this motorcycle, is it's just such a touring type of bike. You can get out here and run with the big boys out on the highway, and it'll do it all day long. It's just taking these bumps and the wind and everything just like a champ. There's a long line of traffic here now behind me. Because we're slowing down for these trucks. It's just freedom of the open road out here. I'm kind of amazed by this bike. It's a little bit of a head turner. It really is. I've had a number of people check it out. You don't really see too many motorcycles like this around this area. So that's kind of neat. It's neat to turn heads and get attention. But like I've said in some of my other videos, I don't really see this as a real cool bike. It's a practical bike, but it really turns heads. That's impressive. That's really cool. I like that. It still has that dynamic, that ability. When I was in the hardware store, there was a, I wasn't real sure what size bolt I needed to get. So I was taking bolts in and out of the store. The folks there let me do that to test fit it on this bike. And as I was going out, I saw this family looking at my bike, a man, a woman, and 2 kids. And then when I left, the woman and 2 kids came out to watch me ride out. That was neat. I probably should have stopped and let them look at it. Wish I'd have done that in hindsight now. Golly, if they wanted to, they could have sat on it even. But, oh well, you think about those things after the fact. So I'm running just about 80 miles an hour, and I'm just getting past like I'm sitting still. Isn't that something? As if 80 miles an hour isn't fast enough out here. But it's Easter weekend, it's Good Friday, so traffic's heavy. But I wouldn't say that I'm not at all uncomfortable out here in the wind and at these speeds. This bike will just keep pace with everybody. 6,000 RPM. And my exit's coming up here in a half a mile, so you can see all the wind turbines. That tells me that I'm getting close to home. Well, that wasn't a bad ride at all on the interstate. Probably did me some good to get out there and really run this bike hard, as I'm in break-in mode still. But you know, you got to try to push it a little bit hard when you're in break-in. I'm not saying, you know, you're going to go out there and do, you know, you're going to redline it at 10 grand and all that, but I think you have to work it hard enough that valve seats and piston rings and things like that all get really worked in together to where they'll seat. And you know, if you light-foot it around all the time, the engine's not going to break in like that. So I think it's wise to break them in just a little bit hard, a little bit on the hard side. I do like riding this bike. It's just such a nice machine to ride on. I've got 473 miles on it. You just have these neat experiences, you know, where people check out your machine and they kind of bond around it, and they waved at them like that. maybe they were fans of mine. Maybe they said, "Hey, that's Iron Horse." I don't know. One thing I will say, that since I got this Versys, is I've had a lot more interest in my YouTube channel. I've really been amazed by that. I know maybe I'm getting some wind noise now, but it's warm enough. I got to open up the visor just to get a little air. And I've seen, you know, a lot of people have, you know, subscribers, you know, in the thousands. But when you go from 38 to 56 subscribers in about a 2-week period, that's huge growth. That's phenomenal growth, you know. And I really do appreciate all the people that have taken their time to subscribe to my channel and put up with my practical jokes sometimes, like the video that I did where I said I crashed. And I try to comment back at people as quickly as I can, and I also try to see if my subscribers have channels of their own that I can subscribe back to. It really is just kind of a neat online community. And I'm having a ball riding this motorcycle, but also then taking videos and sharing my experiences with people. Many, many positive comments, a lot of good advice that I've received from people that have ridden bikes for much longer than I have. And again, I even got an invitation for our Canada ride. One of my subscribers up in Ontario said, "Hey, if you come to Ontario, look us up, maybe even stay with us." And wow, I mean, that's just really hospitality. People are so kind, you know. And whenever you do videos, you're going to get some people that are haters, but for the most part, I've really found people to be enjoyable. Well, I'm home now, so Midwestern Cowboy, this is Iron Horse. Thanks for watching. Hi, Broody. That's my dog, Brutus.